Hey out there, this is Wakeangel2K1, and I bet you thought that Eggman was the only figure that I bought today, huh? Nope, because they also had the Burnbot with Sonic the Hedgehog inclusion figure. Yes. It's not very often that we get toys of badniks, particularly not the huge boss type badniks. This is the figure that was featured in the preview video for when they showed a preview of what the cartoon was going to look like. They showed this dude, and Sonic made commentary about how it attacks with big old claws, but given its name, it should have something to do with fire. That was amusing. So it comes with another Sonic figure. I will talk about this thing in a moment. But first, let's take a look at Burnbot himself. Okay, let's zoom in a bit so we can get a good look. He is a pretty nice looking thing. I mean, he has all that wacky abstraction. He can't stand on those little round feet of his. That's why his hands had to touch the ground like this. But he is actually really nicely detailed. He's got like these little things in his back, and those things on his hips, and lots of sculpted detail. The wheel thingies are picked out. It's all good. He has cannons on his chest. No belly. He kind of looks a little bit like E123 Omega. Huh, why? That seems to want to pop out. So, what kind of articulation does this dude have? Let me retighten the camera so it won't slip on us. Well, he can kind of move his head this far. And his arms swivel. Yay. You can get him to lift one arm up, and then his other hand can do the job of holding him. But if you try to lift up both arms, then, that's not going to work. But it's good to know he has at least some posability. Like, you can have him about to launch his claw at something. And the reason the articulation is so limited is because it's a gimmick toy. So you just push the gun barrels in his chest in, and he explodes. Alright, so that's Burnbot. Let's put him back together. Okay, so now that Burnbot's reassembled, let's compare him to some other badnik toys that we've had. Let's start with something that might be comparable in size. Missile Wrist from the old Toy Island line, who's a bit bigger, but not extremely so. I could see these two guys standing next to each other. And some of the Jazzwares badniks, including the Egg Fighter, Egg Pawn, and the Egg Robo. Oh, come on, Egg Robo. Just because I've had you in storage all this time doesn't mean you had to go and be such a little whiner. I don't think the surface I'm standing him on is perfectly flat. Okay, just keep your gun down like that. There. So, there we go. Burnbot is bigger than anything Jazzwares made for badniks, not counting the 10-inch Metal Sonic, because that's not in this scale, and slightly smaller than Missile Wrist. I know not a lot of people have a Missile Wrist figure, but, I'm pretty sure some people would want to, some people would want to know a good size comparison. Okay, so let's talk about the little Sonic that he came with. So here is the other Sonic the Hedgehog figure. He's basically the same Sonic Boom Sonic. Same paint job, same points of articulation. In fact, let's get the first one out so we can have a good side-by-side. Yeah. The figures aren't completely identical though. If you take a close look at their faces, you can see their expressions are different. Let's zoom in on just their heads for this. So you see, his eyes are significantly more symmetrical than that cocked expression that he has here with one eye smaller. Also, while this guy has a big old grin, the other one has a more has a more serious expression on his face. You know, there we go. Yeah, that's a facial expression that Jazzwares usually say for Shadow or Supersonic. I don't know. It's not like these guys are that much easier to stand than the Jazzwares figures. They still have their problems of top heaviness. There's a little bit of paint flub right there where the eye meets the cheek. You know. So people have been wondering if this line is really going to surpass the Jazzwares figures. In terms of articulation, hardly, but I don't know. They seem to be pretty good in terms of durability, sculpt. For the most part, paint job, except around the face. I'm gonna have to get more figures to see. That we're just gonna have to take a wait and see attitude to do an official Jazzwares versus Tomy look. Yeah. But, yeah, that is Sonic with... Oh, yeah, you probably want to see a comparison size between Sonic and Burnbot. Yeah. Burnbot is, significantly large next to Sonic. He looms quite well. And, you know, let's make this a party. Let's get in Eggman with the Egg Pod. Yep, and the Sonic Boom collection slowly grows. Okay, so here's this thing. So there's Burnbot, and here's the ring with Sonic in it. For the record, this one is not made to be compatible with the Sonic launcher. It's just a ring. It's also soft and rubbery on the outside like a tire. Alright, so let's see if this gimmick works. It helps if you actually get the aim right. Oh, look at that. It exploded, just like it was supposed to. Head went pretty far. It's actually a pretty good spring. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Well, can't fault the gimmick, because it totally works. It does what the gimmick's supposed to do. I mean, it's pretty basic, but there you go. And reassembly is a little bit tricky, because you got to put the head and the torso on at the same time, but it is doable in just a moment. While I was at the store today, I did catch a glimpse of the Knuckles figure they had, but it was the one that comes with that skateboard thing. So I wanted to see if I could hold off and find Knuckles without it. So it's going to be a little bit longer before I do a review of the Knuckles figure. But for now, we got Sonic and we got Eggman, and we have a nice little base to display them on. So... yeah, stay tuned for more Sonic Boom reviews from Wakeangel2K1.